Can you go on more than one at a time? Or just...
I mean, that would be cool. We could just be screaming.
We are now live on YouTube.
Streaming everywhere. That would be crazy.
You know?
Oh, shoot. You know what?
And it says if you have a subscription, it tells you that we're live.
I was to get that app that you can stream to all the fucking social media platforms at one time, and I haven't gotten it yet. I'm gonna do that once we're done that way as well.
Streaming everywhere, that would be crazy.
Oh shoot!
Yeah.
And it says if you have a subscription, oh sorry, I'm gonna get the link. So here is share.
Man, you tagged me in it, right?
I will.
Well, she tags me in it. Share it.
Tag everybody. Here we go. Tag.
Yeah. All right, everybody. All right, everybody.
All right. Shared. I tagged you guys. I'm also gonna share us on Twitter.
Oh, you should.
Everybody out there in YouTube land, what's going on, man? It's your boy Frosty McNuggetts. Been a while. I'm glad I'm back. We're just waiting for Frosty Oreos to do what he got to do, but he'll be back shortly. So that's why he's not on the screen right now. But he'll be back.
Yeah, I'm coming. I'm just sharing it, y'all. My apologies. Yeah.
Looking a little rough, but you know, that's this quarantine. It's quarantine, you know.
There we are.
All right, y'all. I'm coming back to the Zoom right now. All right, here we go. I'm back. Let's go. Let's get it.
You ready?
Yes, sir.
I know I'm always like the last one. Sorry.
No worries. We about to get it.
Always the last person. And always the stiffest person. So not only am I always the last person, I'm always the stiffest person.
All right. Let's go.
All right, here we go.
It's been a long time.
It's been a long time. I shouldn't have left you.
Yo. Oh, I'm sorry.
Wait. Sorry about that. That was. I'm getting pop-ups. All right, here we go. Let's do it. You ready?
Let's go.
Yo. What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Frosty McNuggetts. We've been gone for a while, but we're back. We got new things, new settings, all of that good stuff. And just to get into it, I'm your co-host Frosty McNuggetts. Who else we got?
I'm your host with the most, Frosty Oreos.
Yeah.
Oh, co-host Frosty Knowledge.
Yeah.
Excuse me, y'all. For a second. It's been so long. My bad.
I saw that. You had a pause. A brain freeze.
Frosty's dementia.
And I'm Frosty Menopause.
Oh no.
Oh.
No, kidding.
Yo, the comments gonna be blowing up with that one.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, but yeah, it's been a long time, and so much, so much shit has been happening. I can't sugarcoat it. There's no other way to put it or say it. So much shit going on, and just because of unforeseen circumstances, we have been out of the loop with you guys. But just know that we have been thinking about y'all. We have been working diligently to try to get back to y'all and give y'all our voice on what's going on.
Yeah.
We're here. Normally we have some, black facts, catch up personally what we've been going through the week. Can definitely get to that, but right now we have pressing topics and things that we want to talk about and get out there, so y'all can hear our side or our views on what's going on. So with that being said, brother Oreo, won't you start it off and let people know what's going on?
Yeah, man. So here's my thing, and this is just my personal views on the matter. What happened to this man, Mr. Floyd, was absolutely horrible. It was absolutely horrendous, and the stuff that turned out afterwards, I can't say that it's even worse, but it's close, right? So I've been tapping on social media. I've been watching certain things on the news, and first thing that I want to say is anybody who can condone the acts of this looting and rioting and saying, "Oh, we've had enough. I've had enough," yada yada yada. In my opinion, you are just as stupid as the idiots who went out there and did it. You feel what I'm saying? Because my thing is, how could you fix yourself to come up for personal gains at the misfortune of someone else? Right? That's my first question. My second question is, what is looting, rioting, burning down your cities? What is that gonna do to help justify what happened to this man? Nothing. Nothing. You know what I'm saying? And for people to justify, "Oh, we've had enough." For half of the people that's justifying it, I want to say, what are you exactly tired of? Watching or hearing it on the news? You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're that tired, you do have the option to turn your TV off. You do have the option to not listen. I take it a little bit more personally, as well as, a few brothers that I know. We take it personally or feel tired of it because we've been on that end of the spectrum. Maybe not in the sense of dying, but I've had guns pulled out on me by police. I've been beat, you know what I'm saying, a few times by the police. You know what I'm saying? Like, so, I get the profiling and all of that stuff. These are the things that I go through or that I've been through personally. You know what I'm saying? And all I'm saying is, through all of this and everything that's going on, what I'm saying is, let your voices be heard, not your actions. This is different. This is way, way different from back in the 60s, back in the 50s, back in the 70s. Like, we've been being treated, and we have been mistreated and still continue to be mistreated 400 and something years later. Right? But what is burning down your cities or your towns really gonna do? You need to hold these people accountable. I'm sorry, before I get to that point, here's a fact. Here's a black fact, right? Martin Luther King, 6 days after he was assassinated, the civil rights what was it? Huh?
The leaders?
No. The you want to say the Civil Rights Act? Civil Rights Act was signed and passed 6 days after it was assassinated, and after 110 cities looted and rioted. That was back then when they just had dogs. Like they'll hit you with some gas and put the dogs on you. But now, you know, these people have things that'll really kill you. So what is the point? What is the point of it all? You feel what I'm saying? And then I got really upset, like, you know, and again, it may sound a little biased, but what I said was, I don't care about what happened on Newberry Street. Who gives a shit? It's a bunch of rich white people, rich Jews, who open up these high class and high end stores for the people in the communities not to buy, or for, you know, because they want to style and live in that lavish life, they'll go and not pay their rent, not pay their bills, just to go get a $400 pair of, or, you know what I'm saying, a $500 Gucci shirt from off of Newberry Street. But after they wear the shirt, they're hungry, the lights is off, and they got an eviction notice on their front door. What really upset me was the fact that they went and looted a Black-owned business, a business that a Black man worked hard for, fought through all the bullshit that's going on in the city to get that up and popping for the people of the community.
Mm-hmm. You talking about Pure Oasis?
Huh?
You talking about Pure Oasis?
Yep. The weed store in Grove Hall.
Yep.
Now I seen the footage. That one. I can't call that. I don't know what happened beforehand, but I can say from what I've seen in the footage, I can say I can't call that an agitator. Like, it looked like a Spanish chick, somebody's crackhead aunt, and two other guys, and you know little Tyrone from the neighborhood. You could tell he was there because he had on a tight ass hoodie and skinny jeans or skinny sweats. You feel what I'm saying? Yeah. But what it is, I'm upset that they did that. I'm even more upset that the people of the community didn't protect that establishment.
And it's funny. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Go right ahead. Finish what you're saying.
No. Go ahead.
And it's funny too. The crazy thing is that store, Pure Oasis, the owners of that had to go through the Cannabis Control Commission application process.
Yeah, they worked hard to get it.
The process was mad long. There was a lot of documents. I went through the process. I'm still going through the process, but there's mad documents you have to give. There's mad things that you have to do in order to get that certificate so that you can be legal, so that you can open up a dispensary like the gentleman, the two gentlemen did that own Pure Oasis. They had to go through hell. You know, they can't get a proper bank account because cannabis is still legal on the federal level. They can't get any of the money from the tax, not the tax, but the stimulus package. They can't get any money from that. One, because all the fucking big businesses took all that money from the small businesses. And once they did give another stimulus check for the small businesses, they can't get any, they can't take advantage of that because they sell cannabis and it's still illegal on a federal level. So the fact that these people looted this business is like, yo, like you said, the business is there for the people of the community. A lot of people partake in cannabis and that kind of culture. And the fact that they ruined, I heard they had over $100,000 of damage to their establishment. $100,000.
No, they stole over $100,000 in product.
So that means then that must be they up to 200,000. Like just the product alone is 100,000. That means they had to break the window, break doors. That's damage. Like,
yo, I'm upset about that 100%. I'm upset about that 100%, man. And you know, just to try to come up off the misfortune of another person, it sickens me. It makes me sick. Like since this has been popping, man, I've been jumping on all kind of posts and feeds and whatever, just letting them have it, yo. Like, come on, there's no way in hell you can condone this.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Especially here. Not, not to say that it's okay anywhere else, but for here. You can't condone that for here. For here. People just want to break shit. That's it. But for here, it's not cool whatsoever.
That shows you where people's head is at. The fact that they know this is a Black-owned business. They know the people, fuck that. Let's go break this window. I need to get all of that. I need to get that cookie punch. I need to get the latest J's because I've seen some people going into different stores. And real quick, so I want to hear what you think about this, Lana. But I've seen videos where people are protecting Target, Old Navy, big brand stores. Hey, and that's good. But where was the energy at for the people that's the local businesses? How come they weren't out there chained up, arm in arm, protecting those businesses? They want to protect Target. Target's a international company. Yeah, like Brother Oreo said, looting, that we shouldn't condone that. But that's a big multi-national company. They got money and lawyers to they good. Where's the people protecting the small businesses? It's
I'm gonna speak for here. Yeah. I can't go nowhere else because I don't know the vibes and I don't know the movements anywhere else. All right. So it goes into that, I like to use this adage, for here, and I'm gonna be frank about it, and I'm gonna be, I can't sugarcoat it. I can't sugarcoat anything that I say. Niggas in Boston, niggas in Massachusetts have that crabs in a bucket mentality. You feel what I'm saying? If I go and put a corner store up, a couple blocks away from the crib, nobody's really gonna come support and come buy stuff. They're gonna go to Poppy down the block. They're gonna go to the Asian dudes around the corner. They're not gonna show that support. And this is why the stuff that happened, that happens. We don't have enough Black-owned businesses and any of that stuff, because when one does try to come up, it gets shut right back down because there's no support.
Right. And I have a lot to say. I was taking some notes and I agree with you wholeheartedly, but I'm just going to come at a slightly different angle. And I'm going to piggyback on your just last thought, because it was your last thought about supporting Black businesses. And we do a lot of promoting of Black businesses, and we do a lot of preaching about supporting Black businesses as well as supporting our show, because it's very difficult and people just don't do it. I don't know why. But there's another piece to that too. What I find is that oftentimes Black businesses overprice the Black community, right? Like sometimes you go into a store and it's like, that is way too much money. Like they overprice us. So then you don't want to go there. You're going to go to Walmart because you're going to try to get a cheaper cost. I do realize that sometimes Black businesses have to overcharge to cover their own overhead, right? Because they're just barely making it. And a lot of people don't understand that. So that's why they just think they're being ripped off when they're actually not. It's the Black business trying to, take care of their own overhead. And I want to touch on the protesters looting and rioting. I don't condone looting, and I don't condone rioting. But I think that is all a product of systemic racism. Like we can't get away from that. You know what I mean? Yes, people are generally who do those things, they have a different way of thinking, but they also, because they've been shit on by society, because they're poor, they don't have shit. They don't even know a way out, some of these people. Some of these kids don't see it. I used to be a big sister, and I had for the Big Sister Association, I had a little sister. And I used to take her and this was years ago, just to it used to be called the Braintree Mall. She'd never gone to the Braintree Mall. Her mom didn't have a car. So they're like, what they see sometimes is just in those bricks or wherever. So they're just like, fuck everybody. You know what I mean? That everyone is part of the system. Everyone is part of this capitalist system. They're not seeing Black business, white business. They're seeing, I ain't got shit. I don't have health insurance. And then a lot of these people too, we're not talking about this other piece. It's the pandemic, right? So there's a lot of people who have been out of work, not working, not getting checks, haven't gotten stimulus checks. People who are married to immigrants aren't getting any money. Like some people are just, they're desperate. I'm not saying all of them, because I did see people smile and it's like grabbing stuff, but there's desperation there, you know. And Martin Luther King also said, you know, writing is the voice of the unheard, right? The people that feel like they're being shit on the most, they don't care, they have nothing. And when you don't have anything, you don't have anything to lose, you're reactionary to everything. No one's sitting at home going, Jamil, you shouldn't do this because this is how we do it at the ballot box. They don't give a fuck, because all they know is that it doesn't get them where they want to be quick enough. Nothing's quick enough. So I think that's just an added level of why some of them, it's just this keg of explosives in there, and it's just a whole bunch of mixture of, I'm not going to say every looter is bad in their heart. There may be some looters that literally don't have anything and just need stuff so they can sell, so they can feed their family, because that's always been a thing in the hood. They sell drugs because they're like, when I eat, everyone eats, so they're trying to feed everyone. And then there are people who take advantage, like, I get it, but I just want to bring that other piece.
Hold on, wait. Can I ask this question though? It's a legitimate question.
Go
right?
ahead.
Of all of these things in all of these places, right? I didn't see nobody go loot Star Market, Stop and Shop, Purdy Supreme. You know what I'm saying? Save a Lot, Price Right. I didn't see nobody loot any of that. You see Walmart, you see Target. Motherfuckers is running for video game consoles, TVs, vacuum.
Stuff they can sell.
Wait a minute. If your family is hungry, right? Why not go loot a store where you can fucking run out with bags and bags of food to fill your house?
But when have we ever done that? Like, when have people just ever thought like that? They think to sell something, let me sell and see how much money I can. Even like bums on the street, they don't even want your damn sandwich. They rather the money. Like they could be hungry, but they don't want that. They rather the money. I don't know. I can't explain it. I'm just giving you.
So that's one of the reasons why, right? So sometimes I'll be generous. Sometimes I'll fork over a little bit of change, right? But if I got to say extra sandwich in the car and somebody's over, can I have $2 for something to eat? Hold on, I got this sandwich for you, player. I don't got no money, but I got this sandwich for you. Now I'm straight. Then you ain't hungry. You want to get drunk or you want to get high? I don't support my kids' habits. Listen, I'm not supporting nobody else's habit.
But that's also a part of the problem, right? You do have homeless people that aren't getting taken care of, that have mental health issues, that are out here on the street. They have problems. An alcoholic, why do you think liquor stores were open during this pandemic? Because they're legit alcoholics that will die if they don't get a drink. So they had to have those liquor stores open for alcoholics so they don't die, because they would die. They would go through withdrawals and literally die. So if someone is an alcoholic and homeless, hell yeah, they want the money to buy liquor. They can't tell you that, but they're already addicted to something. So you can't just wake up one day and just be like, you need the help and the support. And this country has failed. They have failed veterans. They have failed Black people. They have failed homeless people, homeless women that out in the street can't even get pads. Like, imagine them in the pandemic. No one really wants to talk to them. So let's talk what's going on with them. What's happening with these people? This is legit. Like, we can sit from our comfortable positions and like say these things, but there are so many underlying problems that we just don't think about. If I was living in the project somewhere and my mother was barely getting by, I don't know what I would be doing right now. I don't know if I would be out there. I don't know. I know my mom taught me better than that, but I'm not living in that system. I'm not caught up in that. I'm not caught up in like the welfare and caught up in like every billboard is of like alcohol in your neighborhood. Like I'm not caught up when can't get a job because I have a record. And I'm not making excuses for these people because I get it. Like a lot of people are able to get out, but you know, on the flip side, we don't even have men who are volunteering to mentor men. Like that is problematic to me. Problematic. You know,
here's another question. Here's another question.
Sure.
What beats a failure?
You tell me.
A try. And that's the problem. Nobody is trying to do nothing. Nothing beats a failure but a try. Nobody's trying. Nobody.
But how do you know where to start if your mama's a crackhead and your daddy's a crackhead? People who, I mean, talk to these people and listen to like even these athletes who have made it out of the ghetto. They're gonna tell you, I had a mentor, I had this coach, I had this teacher. When you don't have that, how do you do that? Who tells you? Who shows you the way out? When I was a big sister, and I did mentoring for the YMCA a couple of years ago, Reach and Rise. No Black men, no Black people. I'm like, listen, give me a Black teen, the worst of the worst. That's what I want. That's who I want to help. But I'm sitting there in Brockton. I'm in Brockton. It was the Brockton Y I did it at. Where are the Black people who are here mentoring these kids to show them there is a way out? You can get out. If they don't see no way, what the fuck do they have to lose? Of course they're going to steal. Like there's nothing else for them to do. They don't think that they're good enough to get a job. They don't know how. They don't know how to do resumes to get a job. They don't even, my son can barely speak at an interview, right? And I'm always on his back and I'm a talker and I help him. So I can't even imagine someone who doesn't have a me trying to get, like, it's just not that easy. I don't, as a mom, I feel bad for them. Like, honestly, I feel bad for them. Again, I'm not condoning this, but I can see past the visual of what we're watching on TV. Like I see a root cause, right? I see people being shit on forever, and it's not easy out there.
So I don't know. So this is what I want to say to that, right?
Go ahead.
You know, I know you know those sayings, each one teach one. But at the same time, everyone can't be saved. Everyone can't be saved. Like
people don't want to be. I get it.
No, I'm saying, yeah, but everybody can't be saved. Some people are gonna be dumb. They're gonna be deaf, dumb, and blind. And those ones you have to leave by the wayside.
But what I'm saying is we're not even trying to save any of them. When I am volunteering and I don't see my brothers and sisters doing the same here in Massachusetts, because it's different in other states, like, but here in Massachusetts, I don't see it a lot. I don't see it a lot.
The next time you go volunteer, call me, I'm popping up.
Okay. Reach and Rise. Reach and Rise. YWCA in Brockton.
Okay.
We need that.
I just want to interject real quick because the comment on YouTube is on fire right now. We got people. I'm gonna have to start at the top. We got the usual suspects. It's good to see everybody back. We got Marie Ann Tangera. I probably butchered your name. I apologize.
Holland.
We got
Holland. That's Holland. Just
we got Holland in the building. Thank you. We got DA just asking. Again, we got the usual suspects, but Holland wanted to jump off. She said MLK said in 1968, but it's not enough to stand before you tonight and condemn riots. It would be morally irresponsible to me to do that without at the same time. Condemning the contingent, intolerable conditions that exist in our society. And tonight, I must say tonight that a riot is the language of the unheard. Not, and then she says, that's his quote. Then she says, not endorsing looting or Black-owned businesses. And so, like Miss Knowledge said, rioting and looting is the voice of the unheard. You know, people who are just fed up. There's nothing else that can be done, and this is the only way that I can be heard. And it's, I just like Miss Knowledge said, I get it, I understand, but it's kind of counterproductive,
right,
to what the movement is. What
right.
sparked you to get out there and start looting? What motivated you? And by taking that motivation and then turning it into a negative is counterproductive.
Right.
We also got DA just asking, he says, or the person says, with a name like Target, they should have expected to get hit. Not facts. That it's true, you know. just going in. Target, right? We had Holland want to tell us, the Frosty family to stay strong in Boston. Black Lives Matter. Hashtag Black Lives Matter with the black face. Love it. DA just asking said, when you are underfinanced, you don't have the ability to purchase in the same quantities as more established competitors. So he was commenting on, we were talking about how the Black-owned businesses and
right, they have to charge money, right?
Yeah, you know, if you don't have the capital, it's very, very hard. And the fact that they were able to get in this industry, they're the only Black-owned cannabis dispensary on the East Coast, people.
Right.
On the East Coast.
Right.
So y'all went in there and ransacked.
I wonder how many people knew that that was even Black-owned. Like, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
How would they
Probably
even?
Not a lot.
Talking to town.
The people that didn't do anything about it.
That's why.
But look at the neighborhood. I don't know. There was a guy who went and tried to his pawn shop, called his friend to help him protect his pawn shop, and his friend got shot. He was a retired cop.
Mm-hmm.
He's dead because he was protecting. I mean, I don't know if it makes sense for us to protect brick and mortar. Like, I get it, but I don't know if I would be out there in that neighborhood trying to protect that business either. It just doesn't seem safe unless just neighbors all got together and, you know.
That's what has to be done. I mean,
the circle, that was the only way. But I don't know if those neighbors wanted that there anyway. So that's another piece to that puzzle. Like, I don't know if they agreed with having that weed shop in their neighborhood. And that neighborhood's pretty old too. Like, there's a lot of old people that live in that neighborhood. They weren't going out there to.
So, but you know what though? I bet you they, you know, I've sat in on some of those Grove Hall meetings.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, the voice of those people then were, you know, let's get these drug dealers off the streets. They're the ones that are terrorizing the neighborhoods. Now, these are the voices of the older people, right? So I bet you they prefer a shop that's regulated, that there's control over, just to, you know, people for them to do their things, opposed to hanging out on the street corners or out in front of their house. And these old people are trying to get out and go to the grocery store, come back from the grocery store. And you got a whole bunch of hoodlums hanging out there trying to slam their nicks and dimes. You feel what I'm saying? So I think as a community, not just one or two people, as a community. Now, you know, Grove Hall stretches a nice little ways, and then you still got all the whole end of Blue Hill Ave in either direction. Every time I drove by that dispensary, there's always a line around the fucking block to get in there. That same line of people who go and get the stuff that, you know, you can't get from your local weed man, or, you know what I'm saying, you getting some official stuff. Somebody should have been somebody should have brought the team together to say, nah, we're not gonna let nothing happen to that business. And even to that, only people in my opinion who deserved or needed to riot was those of Minnesota. For them taking so long to act on arresting that man for the murder of Mr. Floyd, they were the only ones who deserved to riot.
No, that's not, I mean, that's not true, because they should have rioted in Georgia because Arbery was murdered. They should have, and they did. Like, you have Amado Diallo, Manuel Loggins, or Ronald Madison, George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, Sean Reed, Sandra Bland, Castro. Like, no, this tipped off everything. This wasn't just about him. It was about everything for all of these years,
But I get that. Now, please, I'm gonna say it like 2 more times. Please don't think that I am justifying anything that these police officers or these cowards
I know that. I was just disagreeing with you saying only one place should have rioted, because if only one place rioted, they may not have elevated that murder charge. If one place rioted, they may not have murdered arrested those other 3 cops, because it's just like, it's compact, it's Minnesota, we can deal with that. But because the world is rioting, China, Mary will tell you, Holland, Amsterdam, the UK, everyone is marching right now, and that's what needed to happen. Everyone is condemning it. I've never heard so many white people say systemic racism in all of my life that I've heard in the last 8 days. Like, when do white people ever have those words come out of their mouth? They try to shy away from that, like, oh, it's racism. No, they know it's not just racism, it's systemic. It's embedded in this American system. They know that. They saw it. No, we all needed to protest. They did need rioters. They needed to be like shaken out of the lull that Black success has created. They see some Black success, sorry. And
Lonnie got the extras walking in the background of
I know, my props.
Right. That was the other cameraman, guys. Don't mind him.
Right, that was the camera. That was the producer.
Right.
Local producers, local. But the other thing is, the other aspect of this that I wanted to kind of tackle is just, we can't forget the bigger picture, like the backdrop on all of this, because one, it's still a presidential race. In the next 5 months or so, we'll be voting on the next president of the free world. So while all of this is going on,
who's free though?
No, I'm just saying. That's just normally what they say. The next president of the free world. Talking about America. It's just the saying. I don't mean it literally. It's just it's just one of the sayings that people say. But anyway,
who was free?
But you are literally free. You're just not free.
But so again, with the both side, with
James.
I don't know what you're saying.
I'm free because I'm not bound by shackles and chains physically.
Yes.
But a lot of us are bound by shackles and chains mentally.
Yes.
So
yes, you're absolutely correct. So again, all right. So forget the quote. That's not what I'm trying to point out. But I get what you're saying. Definitely.
Right.
So this is all happening during the presidential election between Joe Biden and Donald Trump. This is also on the backdrop of the most deadliest pandemic in the world with coronavirus. All this is happening at the same time. And one of the things that me and Miss Knowledge talked about last night was what's next. how is this going to change? What can we do, or what's going to happen so that this doesn't happen again? One of the things that we said, and I'm gonna definitely hit this on the head. Get out there and vote. Register. If you are out there and you are appalled by what you saw in that video of what happened to Mr. Floyd, and you haven't registered to vote, or you know someone who hasn't registered to vote, y'all need to get out there and register to vote. And vote not only in the presidential election, which is very important, but you need to vote in your local elections. You need to vote for your DA. You need to vote for your city at large. You need to vote for the mayor. You need to vote for the governor. To really, and we said this 1,000 times on previous shows, and you can go back and find them and find where we said this, because we've said it before. If you really want change that affects you personally, that affects your family, that affects your kids, that affects the policies and laws that you live under. If you want to see those things benefit you, you have to register to vote. Looting, rioting, it's only one way of drawing attention to your cause, but to really get effect and really see your cause and your ideals.
Ballot box.
You have to vote for the people that represent not necessarily your skin color, that look like you, but represent the values that you want. You want health care, find a candidate that's going to fight tooth and nail to get you health care. If you want a candidate that's going to make sure you have higher wages, then find a candidate that's going to do that and vote them in office. If you don't vote for the people that support the ideals that you stand for, we are going to be here tomorrow, next week, next month, next year, 10 years from now. Our kids will be here talking about the same shit. We have to get out there and vote and find DAs, because DAs are the most important person in a state, because the DA is the person that can affect and say, hey, that cop killed somebody, arrest him now because he's going to jail. We're going to prosecute him to the fullest extent of the law. If you don't have a DA in your state that's going to do that, we are lucky because we have Rachel Rollins. She don't play that shit. You don't play that, so we're lucky. But if your state doesn't have a DA that's going to fight for the people and not cover up police brutality, then we're going to be here again. You need to get out there and vote. Vote, vote, vote. You know, like, again, this is on the backdrop of a pandemic and a presidential election. So much shit is going on. Oh, on top of that, 40 million people are out of jobs right now. 40 million people don't have a job right now.
Some of that's wrong.
And this is on the backdrop of all of this. If we want to see change that really affects the Black community and other races as well, I won't even say just the Black community, just people who are poor. I mean, of course, mainly Black and brown people, that's who's poor, but there are poor white people out there. There's poor Asian people out there. But if you want to see change, if you want to see real change, if you're tired of seeing punk ass cops killing unarmed Black men and women for no reason, cops storming in people's houses, cops supposed to know what house they're going into. Cops supposed to know when they arrest somebody. They stormed in that lady's house.
Breonna Taylor's
house. And they had the person already in custody. Why the hell are you even going out?
And not only did they storm in the house and kill her, they arrested the boyfriend
and charged him. Like, and again, I don't want to get sidetracked and not focus on the main reason why all this is going on, and that's the death of Mr. Lloyd, unarmed. Again, whatever he did, people are saying he forged a check. Some people saying it's a fake $20 bill. I still haven't heard concrete evidence of why he was, what was it? I haven't heard anything definite. I just heard speculations. Oh, it might have been a fake $20 bill. It might have been a fake check. Give me concrete. I want to know why they singled him out. Where's the store owner? Where's the store owner in all this? What happened? Why him? Was it really him? Did he really do that? I don't know. All I know is, for a fact, that this innocent man, unarmed,
because he's innocent until proven guilty, no matter what. He's innocent until proven guilty, no matter what.
Exactly. I don't know what this man has done.
That
said definitively
for people of color.
Of course not. Of course not. But I'm just saying, he said innocent, so I'm agreeing. Like, yeah, he was innocent. What did he do?
I mean, I know, but
yeah,
it's just that's all I can say is
But I'll wrap this up, and so you guys can comment. But the main thing is, with all of this stuff going on, with Mr. Floyd passing, with this pandemic, with 40 million unemployed Americans, and the presidential election, that's 4 major issues that's hitting every single person in this country right now, whether they want to face it or not. Those are the 4 big issues, society issues. I'm not talking about personal, bills, mortgage, rent, girlfriend, boyfriend. No, I'm not talking about those issues. I'm talking about society issues that's going to affect everybody. Those are the 4 biggest things right now. And the way to combat all of that is to register to vote. If people are out there and are appalled of what they saw and they're appalled of what's happening, we need to, 1, get a president that cares about his citizens. The fact that Trump went on TV and said, I'm about to call the military and shoot the looters? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding? On your own citizens? Like, this dude really wants to be a dictator, because that's what dictators do. They send the military and shoot and kill their own citizens. Really? That's what you want? We need to get him out of office. And the only way to do that is if we vote. We need to vote. Again, I'm not trying to take away all the stuff that's going on and all of that, but in order to change what's going on, we all have to vote. Don't vote because a person looks like you. Vote because of what they want to do for you. Because unfortunately, there are some Black people who are just going to be out there, hey, vote for me because I'm Black, and don't give 2 shits about how much money you make. Give 2 shits if your family has health insurance or anything like that. Vote for what they stand for. Vote because of the policies that they want to enact, because those are the policies that's going to make you a better person individually, for your family, for your kids. So that's my rant.
Yes, vote. That is the lesson. Just in case anyone out there didn't get the lesson, that's the
right.
That's the lesson. You vote like your life depends on it, because your life depends on it. The environment depends on it. You got to vote. You have to vote.
But the comments are going. We're definitely getting the usual suspects from Holland, DA. Thank y'all. Thank y'all.
You gonna read comments?
So we got. So it's a lot. It's a lot. Some of it's actually between the people in the comments. So a lot of it's like personal. It says, good, we had some protests here last week in Holland, but no riots. In UK, France, they were protesting too. DA says, yep, Europe is holding it down. Holland says, I agree with Frosty Knowledge. We all lost people through police brutality. We are all mourning still in Holland. Personally, to me, there are too many names worldwide. I have to agree with that. DA says, racism and violence are just ingrained in the DNA of the United States, of the liberty or the 4th of July. Yep, it is. It is. Holland says systematic oppression, institutionalized racism isn't U.S. exclusive. It's probably in one of the worst Western civilized countries, though. vote for DA. It says, yes, Chicago Mayor a BW said it
Black
too.
woman.
Huh?
Black
Women. Okay. Black women said it too. Change is to go out and vote. Outvote Trump GOP. Yes.
Yeah.
If I could run, it would be in 2024. You are right. I read about King Leopold of Belgium. That might be some inside right there. I'm not sure what they meant. 40 million and one because Begging Petty lost her job as a kickboxer with her leg when her leg was amputated.
That's DA making jokes. Like we can't, you can't have a comedian on, you know.
That's a good one.
It's Holland says rip Brianna because she was a black woman too.
Yeah.
Begging Betty, that's funny. Begging Betty used to be a teacher, but she sews masks now.
Holland, you know who he's talking about. That's awful. That's awful. I'm not going to comment on that. So I do want to take some time to share some good news and say congratulations.
It's 7 o'clock.
Sorry. Congratulations to Ella Jones, the first black female mayor of Ferguson. So
nice.
Yeah, last night there were elections going on and no one even knew there were elections going on.
No election and people there are local elections that's happening in the state of Massachusetts. They just got done wrapping up the mail-in ballots, not the voting mail-in ballots, but the candidate registration mail-in ballots. And once I find more information and get more information about who's running in the local elections, I'll definitely post that.
Absolutely.
We'll post that and we'll give more updates as that starts to come out. But that is happening. An election is going on in other states as well.
Right. So congratulations to Ella Jones, Mayor Ferguson. They need it. That's awesome. And let's also say, yay, Stephen King is gone. Did you hear? Yes. Stephen King lost his seat. That white nationalist lost his seat. So
I'm like, Stephen the writer?
No, Stephen King the white nationalist. So it does matter. The ballot matters. This is how things get pushed and made to happen, you know? So that's awesome.
Somebody got
I don't even know what's happening here because I know doorbells ringing. I don't know what's going on. Anything happened during live.
O'clock.
Huh?
He got the movie phone guy over there talking about it's 7 o'clock.
That's my laptop.
No, that's funny.
So okay. So I have a little story. So we had a Zoom meeting for my job last week, and I had on a I Can't Breathe t-shirt because I just do stuff like that. So the woman said, wow, how'd you get that so fast? And I was just like, the instinct was to say something really rude, but I'm like, she just doesn't get it, right? Sometimes white people they don't get it. They just walk around with like earmuffs on. They don't know what's surrounding them. They only know what's going on in their little space. And I'm like, do you think that George Floyd is the only black man that's ever said, I can't breathe before being murdered? And she goes, wow. And I'm like, wow. So it just made me think like, white people, dear white people, our white allies and our Jewish allies, white and black, because, I just want to put that out there. We like white people and Jewish people, nothing wrong with y'all. But we need our allies to do better here, because that's what that is, right? I'm not saying that she is racist, because I don't think that she is. I just think that, our allies need to do better, right? It's not good enough just to be like, oh, I'm not racist and I think racism is wrong. No, like, shame on you if you're teaching your children to be colorblind. That is problematic. No, you cannot teach your children to be colorblind. I have a color, right? Your color comes with privileges. My color does not. They need to know that. They need to know that in this world, certain people get treated differently. They need to know that. That's huh?
They know it.
Kids know this?
Oh, the kids. Oh, I thought you were talking about the allies.
Pay attention and follow. I'm saying allies need to teach their children not right.
I didn't have, so I'm like,
you just going on right. So shame on you to teach your kids to be colorblind, right? Shame on you not to call out your racist friends when they're saying things that is racist. Like, shame on you for being complicit in that, because if you're going to benefit from this system of, white supremacy, you need to use your privilege to call these things out. Like, you can't, like, you're not an ally if you're not. You can't just sit at home and be like, no, you have to explain these to people. I have a friend that is white. She called me on Saturday and she's like, okay, I see what's going on. How do I talk to the people in my circles about this? What do I tell them when they're saying rioters and the looters and this is horrible and that is horrible, and the focus isn't with George Floyd anymore, right? That's an ally, right? Because she wants to know. She wants to know, how do I tell these people? She doesn't just leave it, right? She goes, no, I want to say something. Tell me what to say. And I said, well, just ask them, like, is the brick and mortar more important than this man's life? Which one? Why are you so concerned about the brick and mortar? You should be focused on a man that died under the knee of a cop that never took his hands out of his pocket. Like, that is the focus. And shame on anyone who doesn't do that. Shame on anyone who doesn't redirect these people to what's really important. Shame on you if you think that George Floyd is the wrong person. Shame on you if you think that Trayvon Martin was a monster and he was beating up Zimmerman. Shame on you if you think Philando Castile did something wrong because his car may have smelled like weed and he deserved to be shot in front of his girlfriend, murdered in front of his girlfriend and his kid. Like, fucking shame on you. Shame on you if you think Michael Brown did something wrong. Shame on you.
Wait, the Philando Castile thing, the shit that baffles me was when a cop approached his car, he let the cop know off the top, listen, I have a pistol, but I am licensed to carry.
Right. So shame on you for thinking he did something wrong. Shame on you for thinking that Arbery jogging should have put his hands up because a white man with a rifle who you don't know who he is pointing it at you. Like, shame on you for thinking that he can't even jog in his neighborhood and be left alone. Shame on you to think that Black people cannot walk their dog in a dog park without like some racist white woman complaining. Shame on you because you think that Amy Cooper was really in danger when she's the one who was up in Mr. Cooper's face while he's trying to bird watch. Like, shame on all of you guys. We have to do better. We have to do better.
I also want to say, I was watching Breakfast Club. I like the Breakfast Club, good show. Charlemagne, Angela Yee, DJ Envy, they actually did it had a special the other day. I don't think it was special. I think it might have been a regular show. But they had, and when I heard who they had on, I was like, of all people you want to get him on, they had Rush Limbaugh on their show.
I don't like the show. So I'm going to start off there because I'm already biased because I stopped watching that show a long time ago because I feel like they do things just for the ratings, and I don't think they explain enough. Like they'll put something out there and then their fans are young and eat it out, but then they don't calm it down and explain it rationally. Like it's just
I've always said I didn't like them.
Hate that show.
Limbaugh.
Awful. But go on. Sorry, Rush Limbaugh.
No, I like that. No, I like that. So they had him on, and the one thing is he thinks that white privilege and all of that is a liberal construct.
Of course.
Like, he's one of those people that won't admit. He's like, oh, that's not real. And if it was so, I don't like the guy, and it just infuriated me because he wouldn't acknowledge the fact that, all right, you don't have to think it's a real thing, but you being white, and you don't have to succumb to certain ideologies or certain stereotypes. Like, yes, you can be poor, white, live in the hood, blase, blase, blase. Even then, there are certain things that you won't have to experience.
Right, you still have privilege. Right, imagine being black.
Even though you live in the hood, right. Even though you may be poor, and you know, yeah, you may still live the same lifestyle as a black person, still live in the same hood, city, whatever, complex. But even then, you still won't have to endure some of the looks, some of the assumptions that we deal with on a regular basis. You know, like I don't know.
Privilege has nothing to do with like your status and your money. Like it doesn't matter if you're homeless, if you're white, you still have privilege. You're not black. Imagine being black and homeless. You may be killed.
Listen, I've been there.
You know,
been there.
No one knows if, you know, white people always say that, like, well, I don't have a lot, and I don't, you know, LeBron James or this person has that money, so you're privileged. Yeah, he does have a privilege, but he's still just a black man. So if a black man and a white man are walking down the street, the cop doesn't know who has the most money. He doesn't know, like, I mean, look at the police. Look at the senator. The senator got arrested and got pepper spray, the black senator, in his eyes.
Yeah, he was furious, and I don't blame her one bit.
Because he's just another black guy, right? That's what you see. You're not seeing his status in the world. You don't know he's a senator. Somebody walking down the street, you pull over, you don't know if they're a black doctor. Like, you just don't know anything. He's just a black man, and that's the privilege that someone white has. And then the other thing is, like, and I don't know, I had this conversation, so I don't want to take credit for saying this. I don't know who said it, I don't remember, but if white people didn't have the privilege, why are there so many black firsts? Why do I have to say Ella Jones, first black mayor of Ferguson? Why do I have to say that? Because white people, we're not going to say the first white person to do anything, because they've always been able to just do. No one is stopping them. No one has ever stopped them, because they're the ones who constructed racism. Racism, colonizers bought that. They bought race into that, you know, to support their system. You know, that's ridiculous. Wow, shame on you.
I just want to say real quick, again, the comments are blowing up. Miss Knowledge is very popular. DA says preach. And Holland says, yes, she's the same on Twitter. She's fire. I learned the most from her. She always tells it like it is and opens people's eyes. So Miss Knowledge, That's why you call it Miss Knowledge, because you be dropping it, and people are definitely resonating. What you're saying is resonating with the people. So,
I did want to touch base on two more things real quick, guys. I know you got to eat, but I did want to touch.
Yeah, my stomach's rumbling. I'm
sorry. I talked about Amy Cooper. I just want to talk about Tara Reid real quick, you know, because that's a big deal right now. And that's why, you know, you have people on social media platforms like, you know, don't vote for Joe Biden. Joe Biden is a racist. You know what I mean? I'm not voting for Joe Biden. These are the people that want Trump. So don't get it twisted. They want Trump in office. So they're going to put Joe Biden as a racist. We don't know that Joe Biden is a racist. So we should not be saying Joe Biden is a racist. He has not been proven to be a racist. He is alleged to be a racist, right? But he is not a racist. And it's unfair to put that on him because guess what? I could be like, yo, Frosty McNugget, you're a racist. I mean, a rapist. Like I could just say that, right? That doesn't mean it's a fact. Should we believe women? We should believe women, but we also have to give the man the benefit of the doubt too, and then do an investigation and find out what it is. But what we are finding out about Miss Tara Reid is she's a liar. Her own attorney is a Trump supporter. He quit because she's a liar. He said, I can't even do this, right? Because she's lied. Her friends that she said she told, they said she lied. So there's a whole, she's lied in court under oath. Like, so there's a whole stream of things that are proven.
No.
Yeah. Yeah, wow. That's what's going on now. There's a whole, YouTube's probably, they're writing stuff right now because it's just been proven. I mean, when a Trump supporting attorney quits, that means he's got nothing. When her friends that she said she's told, they're like, no, she's telling us to lie. That's problematic. 2018, she was retweeting Joe Biden. He did work for domestic abuse. She's retweeting him, telling him he's doing a good job. This is somebody who stuck his fingers in your vagina? That doesn't, none of it makes sense.
The only thing you can accuse Joe Biden of.
Joe Biden finger banged her?
He touches what?
I said Joe Biden finger banged her?
That's what she claims, but you know better. That's ridiculous. in the middle of what, the Senate or something, like ridiculous. I don't even, it's just so crazy. That's so crazy. And he's saying, yo, get the records, because if she says she filed a complaint, he's saying, I want the records, pull those records out. You know what the Senate's saying? No, we're not doing that. We're not pulling any of those. You know why? Because if they find nothing, they have nothing to stoke the fire with.
They're trying to do the Hunter Biden thing again. The whole
right.
That whole situation. They're trying to bring that up because everybody went after Trump on Russia. You know, the Stormy Daniels campaign contribution money scandal, and the one that just passed.
Right.
You know, so it's he's looking for anything to get at Biden. I mean,
he's afraid. He's afraid, and he's got to be afraid, because if we all do what we're supposed to do, he should not be president in November 4th. He should not be the president, but we do know that there are going to be forces against us, you know, so that's why we got to come out in droves, because the Russians are still there. No one's talking about the Russians because that's supposedly part of fake news, but they're still there. They never did anything to protect our ballot boxes.
Nope. We got DA said Tara Reid initially filed a sexual assault case against Joe Biden that didn't include her allegation that he individually penetrated her. Tara Reid can't even provide a time frame for her allegations against Joe Biden.
Right, and she's making a mockery of the Me Too movement. A mockery of it. And an attorney that rented to her, an attorney owned some type of domestic abuse apartments or something like that, rented to Tara, and I think that was like 2018 too. And she kind of used Biden as like not a reference, but like, yeah, I work for Joe Biden, you know what I mean? To get her into these apartments, and then didn't pay the woman rent. The woman had to kick her out. Said she was awful and didn't even believe that she was a victim of domestic abuse. Like it's come on. We got to vote. We just got to vote.
Yeah, we got it. That's we're gonna wrap this up. But we are gonna stream live tomorrow as well. Everybody that's in the comments, thank you. We love the support, we love the comments, we love the interaction. But we are gonna wrap this up. There any shout outs anybody want to do before we wrap it up? Brother Oreo, Miss Knowledge?
Nah, I'll do it on tomorrow's show.
Okay.
Shout out everybody. Thank you guys, DA, Mary, everybody out there.
Thank
Be
you.
safe, guys.
Go ahead.
Nothing.
Well, we're gonna do shout outs tomorrow, but again, thank you for tuning in to this special.
Dave's like in the kitchen. He's just like, I'm just going for the kitchen, right?
Look at this. Hold on, wait. Look at this face.
Oh, hello, mama.
Hey, how spaghetti all over her face?
Hey, we need likes for that. Please send likes.
This is my little one. Tell them what your name is.
No.
It's Sabrina.
Sabrina.
Hi. I like your hair.
Right? It's so beautiful. I like it.
That's awesome.
Yo.
All right.
Yo, we need to go viral just because of that right there. We need to go viral because of that. Yeah. No, but yo, tune in tomorrow. We'll do all the shout outs. We'll have a full actual show. We just had to get out here. We had to let y'all know what we feel, what's been going on. We've been gone for so long, but we will be back officially tomorrow. Tomorrow's Thursday. Please tune in. That being said, it's your boy Frosty McNuggets.
And it's your boy Frosty Oreos.
Frosty Knowledge.
All right.
Bye, guys. Have a good night.
You as well. Peace.